What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Greg.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You want to talk about it? You seem stressed. I can see you from the conference room. I'm in there. I'm doing calls. I come out. Is the Pokemon finally getting to you? Have you caught my Porygon yet?
No, I have not caught a Porygon yet.
You saw him, though. You fought him.
We did. I fought a Porygon.
When I
It
made
was
that joke
trainers.
about yesterday, when I made a joke about it,
Yeah.
I literally was like, oh, he probably wasn't invented yet. I didn't realize Porygon's been around that long.
Oh, yeah. He was
Yeah.
Gen 1.
He was Gen 1.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Ahead of their time, Pokemon.
They're cool. I hope to catch one.
Yeah?
No, I mean, Pokemon was really fun yesterday. We played for a really long time. And after a while, you kind of just get lost in the room.
Sure.
Thank you, Joey, for joining us. That
It's
was
because
really
there's
nice
no
to have your
sunlight in
energy.
there, so you just lose sense of reality.
Well, you know, it's funny because, like, obviously what we get to do here is, like, in a large sense, not a real job.
What?
Yeah.
You know, we get, like, I came in
my
yesterday.
parents
and
ask me all the time, you still get paid?
Does this sound like this isn't a job?
Domino's Pizza. They get it in the morning. They get it at noon. They get it at night. Then they take.
Let me ask you a question, Andy. Which one of us is more like Brick from Anchorman? Is it me or is it Greg?
I'm just saying, like, you, with all due respect, I just don't like to see you put down your craft. You want to talk about something that isn't a job? Making music. Do you see that?
See how quickly
Sabrina Carpenter sings that? That's a number one.
All right, Greg,
It's
let me
that
ask you
simple.
this question. What's less of a job, making music or drawing art like Chris Hankin does?
Oh my God, don't get me started. Well, I mean, like, see, that's my whole thing, is I don't want to disparage artists.
Yeah,
I want to make sure people understand Chris Anka's in a different category.
he's a tracer.
Every Lord and Miller calling him every day. Hey, can we put out a trailer for Spider-Verse? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, no, I'm redesigning 2099 again. Like, just put out the movie, Chris.
Yeah.
Let him finish the movie.
We could do that. That'd be cool.
Here we go. We'll do it.
No, I just wanted to record all of that as like a.
Oh, now we're gonna make that into a song?
I was trying to.
And back to it.
I failed.
This is a rough one. Nick is old enough and old like me to remember it,
Mhm.
but it's more Joey's music. You remember that the benefits of sunscreen, where it was just a principal giving
Yes.
his it was like
I don't think
You remember-
so.
The
you remember-
like the graduation speech?
Graduation by Vitamin C. You remember
Yeah.
that?
As
There was
we
a
go
companion
on.
song maybe the year before or year after
Okay.
that was the benefits of wearing sunscreen, and it was this
Always
spoken,
wear your sunscreen.
and they put music behind it, and this thing was all over the radio too. It isn't hard to be a musician, to
Yeah.
be a lyricist. I'll say that. I can't do. You and me were talking about Andy. Andy was over there strumming, playing. He's just making music.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's cool. That's a talent.
Just recording.
I just say stuff and it becomes a song. Play it for me.
It's not
Kevin,
really
we
picking
can
up
hear
great.
you.
Oh, give it back to me then.
Kevin, we can hear you.
No, that may be me. That may have been me,
It may
kind
have
of like
been
peeking
Ian.
through the.
Oh, never mind, Kevin.
Peeking through the. Here we go. Ready? Hold on.
It's great for the audio
So
listeners.
fun
I'm
for
sure.
a
They're hanging out. Oh, it's a fast one.
Oh,
This song makes me think of running real fast. I'm running down the hill and I fall on my ass. I go to the hospital. What do I see? That man has a big pee-pee.
Big peepees, big peepees. Everyone's got them big peepees.
Big babies.
Big peepees, big peepees.
I take back
They can't
everything
fit
nice
through
I
the
said.
door because they're big peepees.
My pee's quite small.
So is mine, so is mine. Put it in the mall.
Why did God curse us? Yeah, that's a song. That's a song, Joey. That's the album.
It's true, man.
maybe we don't need more musicians. I
She,
was
of
saying
course-
that we need less podcasts and more musicians, and
Yeah.
maybe we need.
Oh, don't
neither.
trust me. You don't want this job to go away from me because, yeah, that is it. Me in my pajamas at home, singing into
Just
Discord,
rapping.
Andy making it. You know what I mean?
That's how Mark Ribbolett got famous.
Who?
Oh,
Mark
I love
Ribbolett.
him.
He's a musical artist that he does like kind of what Andy does, but he like makes music.
Oh,
But he's
I've
way
probably
better.
seen him.
Blonde
Yeah.
hair, glasses, kind of like good body.
Always
and
wearing a
he's
robe.
Always wearing
Yes,
just
okay,
a robe
I
and
know this guy.
underwear.
I know this guy.
And just dancing and getting real nasty with it.
Yeah.
And he's one of those. I think Andy might have turned me on to this guy. And he's fucking massive now. That
I
guy's,
always
like,
want to know
very
what his
popular.
concerts are like. Like, is
They're-
he just out there on stage in a robe, just making music?
The only time I've ever seen him is literally him out on stage in a robe making music and then diving into the audience and then
Oh.
having everyone just being like, "This is the greatest moment of my life."
Lemon Benny nails it. Let me in. I'm trying to fuck.
In the YouTube chat,
Look at the fork in the
JA
bed, bitch, go.
space ZZ says, what's the topic of today's kind of cringe podcast? And it was me and Nick having small peepees, seeing big peepees in the hospital.
Because you got to figure you see a few big peepees in the hospital. Right? If you're a nurse, you're like, we're not supposed to talk about this, but that dude's got a schwanz
Oh
on
my
him.
God.
Yeah, this is good.
She's Christmas in April, Joey Noel.
This might have been a Mike podcast.
No,
we
no,
might
you're
have
fine. You're
miscast this
fine. You're
one.
fine. You're doing great over there. And then, of course, the Hispanic Heartthrob Texas Street Latino Heat. Clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The Globe Trotting, Headshot, and Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv. Andy Cortez.
Get your started another one. Hold it for me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, sing whatever.
I like
you
how
want.
small it is.
Yeah,
And then I like the double echo.
Mini Mike. Oh,
Well, yeah, the audio
well,
coming out is
oh,
really, really nice.
too small.
You look like a giant with that mic.
There's a rat in my beer. There's a rat in my beer.
Beer rats.
Whose fucking idea was it to put this rat in my beer?
Is it live? Is it not live?
It was alive, then it drank the beer. Now it is dead, now it is food. Nom, nom.
Pair it with a pretzel.
I don't
Now
think
it's
Greg
food.
needed a Coke today.
And that's a great first like track right there. You know what I mean? Like that's a.
Didn't you guys want to do like 100 tracks in 100 minutes or something like that? What are they?
They
doing?
were- that was a
I want to
Patreon
do an
thing.
album. Yeah, I want to do an album.
I mean,
like
those
They're
this.
are-
not Patreon,
You should be on it,
thermometer
too.
thing.
I would
Those
do.
are the building
We
blocks.
should do a stream where we just keep going until we create an album, and I think we can get it done realistically on the level of like I'm not gonna say we're gonna be like Kendrick level, but I think we could
Close.
do one step below Kendrick. I think we get that done in 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
15 minutes.
I wasn't recording your fucking vocals.
Rat in my
Oh no, there it is.
There's a rat in my beer. Whose fucking idea was it to put this rat in my beer?
I mean, it's
That's
just
it.
it's just like that. Like that's all you got to fucking do.
Congrats on the ringtone, everybody. If you didn't know, everybody, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk to each other about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk with us, watch live. That's right. The Kind of Funny podcast is now part of the suite of live programming and talk shows that we do each and every day. Usually we're on Mondays. Sometimes we're over here. It's a crazy week with the Switch too. But
So
you can
many
always
videos.
catch youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames for live programming, whether it be Kind of Funny Games Daily, the Gamescast, Kind of Funny Podcast in review, or just a stream of video game fun and shenanigans. Of course, if you are watching later, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe follow on your favorite podcast service. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, we'd love it if you gave us that first and free subscription. And of course, if you really like what we do, pick up a Kind of Funny membership. You can get a Kind of Funny membership and get all of our shows. That's more than 80 a month, ad-free. And of course, you would get a daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series I call Gregway, where I talk to you in my car, usually. For now, I'll remind you. More than 11-person small business.
Oh,
Pregnant pause. Is that okay?
Good
that's
pause.
fine with me.
Kind of Funny Games Daily was more Switch 2 news. The Gamescast was a South of Midnight review. And after this, it's the continuation of Nick's Pokemon Nuzlocke adventure. But the big news
Final gym.
is that tomorrow it's happening. The man who could draw a lot more and get movies done faster, Chris Anka, is in the building to
Hell
play
yeah.
Verdansk, to play Call of Duty with Nick, Andy, and Mike. I've talked to Andy about it already today. Nick, how are you feeling about your return to Verdansk?
Oh, I'm so excited about
Yeah.
this. This was literally one that we just had to do. We've got to get back in there. Some of my earliest memories, actually the earliest memories of me like gaming online with a jabroni is hot dropping in the hospital of Verdansk, trying to figure out what the hell a loadout is, trying to just be some level of useful to the team. And now, thankfully, I don't have that burden anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because okay, so you were what when this? Because it's your formative years of the age of like 43, right? Like when being in Verdansk.
Well, Verdansk came out in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have made me 40.
So the formative years of you being 40, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, you know, I used to visit Arkansas a lot in the summers as a kid, visiting family there.
Really?
Yeah, and like
What'd you do
You,
there?
Andy Lore.
I have family there. Like my cousin, I have a cousin,
What'd
so
you do?
same age as me.
Kill some frogs.
It was just like us. We'd be there for a couple weeks, play sports, whatever.
That's cool.
Just hanging out with a cousin. It
That's
was like,
cool.
I want to go somewhere else during the summer. So it's like those formative years of like I visited Arkansas a lot as a kid.
And you never talked about
that
it,
one
yeah.
time I visited
know
like
people went to
New
Arkansas.
Jersey or whatever. It's like Verdansk it's a place that we grew to know very well.
It's more than a place. It's an
To
ideal.
people.
The people.
Yeah.
Right. It is the original map for Warzone. It's the map that we had, I would probably say, the most fun on back in the day. And arguably, it's the best map they've ever dropped. Because we've played every single big map and small map they put out.
Nothing like your first.
It just is a really well-made, constructed experience. So I'm excited to see if they've tweaked it at all. I'm excited to see when it comes back, if it plays the same, or if it's that thing where we're giving you exactly what you wanted, and we don't want this anymore. We'll see.
Sure.
The rat in my beer. The rat in my beer. Whose fucking idea was it to put this rat in my beer? It was alive. Then it drank the beer. Now it is dead. Now it is food. Nom.
I love that you mouthed it remembering the lyrics.
The lyrics to your
you're like, oh,
song.
here's this part.
I mean, it's the music.
We're getting
You
to
know
the
what I mean?
om part. It's my favorite part.
I don't know how
You
many
have to
beats
have
a minute there are, but we're all there. I'm just there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
You
what I
have
mean?
to have a photographic memory of some sort.
We
For
talked
musical
about this
lyrics?
Yeah.
extensively yesterday on
You
the stream.
have to have that.
On the stream?
Yeah.
We
Oh,
talked
why?
about you
Because
a
they
lot.
came with my Grey's Anatomy knowledge?
There is
no, I
that.
think it was. I think we were talking about Nick's Kylo karaoke,
Yes.
and we were talking about
Oh.
if your knowledge of musical lyrics was somehow part of a photographic memory
Oh.
thing.
Yeah, because I was saying, Joey asked me how it went, and I
You
said I had
talked
a.
about this.
I don't think we've talked about it. I think we talked about it on the podcast last week. I said that I was doing this thing. I was going to a cosplay comedy show down in San Jose at the Guild House, which is really, really cool. My friend Kay Chang runs it. It's really, really fun. But he's like, just all I need you to do is commit to a bit. And I was like, well, I only do one character, and it's not great, but I do.
You're like, I crushed it.
But I do commit to it.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what do you? I have to know what you're going to do before I book you on this. And I was like, well, I only ever do Kylo Ren shirtless singing karaoke.
Right.
And he was like, you're booked. And so I started. I was like, I'm going to do 3. I have 8 minutes. I don't want to do any comedy. I don't want to write any. I'll just
New
fill it in
material
with
now.
stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Well, because what a lot of people do is they take their own material.
Yeah.
And they just kind of tweak it. To
Now
be
I'm
like,
Spider-Man, so I'm just like...
yeah,
trying
so I'm
to-
like, hey, well, it's in San Francisco. Oh, I can't speak for any buildings here, So I was like, I don't have,
That's an existing joke.
you know what I mean? Right? You would take your marriage material and just try to be like, Mary Jane is so bad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Instead of your wife's name. But I was like, I don't really want to do that. I want to have some more fun and just kind of basically sing in front of people and make a complete and total fool out of myself. And I knew it would be a fun energy interrupt for the day because most people were just there to just talk into the
Yeah.
mic. And
Because
so,
the venue is like other things too, right?
well, the venue itself is the Guild House is really rad. It's like I would say it's like 10,000 square feet. Most of it is open air, like gaming stations, similar to the Foundry. They sell booze, they sell food, and then there are a bunch of back rooms. One of which is like a theater style back room where we mounted the show. Another room is for tabletop gaming and like LAN gaming. They have a whole like private lounge you can rent out that's like computers. They're like NZXTs for like just you and your boys can just game all night if you want them, but it's like renting. So imagine you walk in, like I walked in and I was like, I'm immediately at home because I looked to my right and they were having a vampire cocktail party by invite only.
Nice.
And I was like, maybe I'll try to get an invite to that next day. Everyone dressed up, having a great time. Just our people here. Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Oh
right
wow,
here.
that's giant.
So that's the main area as you walk in, and then there's another theater area in the back that's kind of quartered off so they can do like live shows and stuff. But it's really, really fun. If you guys are anywhere near San Jose, you should just drop by. It's kind of popping. It was popping on a Friday night. They have those big ass pretzels that they hang.
Oh,
They give a little
I
hook
love a
and they
good
hang
hang.
Oh,
on
that's
it
so cool.
with cheese and stuff. And we had a bunch of people come out. This is how much you know this
Playing
place
Warhammer.
is our place.
I think.
Is that I promoted
Right,
it.
dance
We
floor.
had a lot of friends of the show come out and say what's up to me. And to all of you guys, thank you so much for sticking around and for being supportive of this. And on the way out, I saw a couple guys that listen to the podcast who were like, hey, Nick. And I'm like, what's up, man? Do you guys like the show? And they're like, what show? And I'm like, oh, I was doing a show back there. Like, oh, I wish I would have known about that. I was like, are you guys just here? They're like, yeah, we come here to party all the
That's
time.
awesome.
So shout out to those guys for coming and
The
and
Guild House
supporting
is a
this.
good name.
It's
Yeah.
a rad name.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it's honestly really cool because, if you want to enjoy an alcoholic beverage with your friends, but
And
like
I
the
do.
crowded bar scene And like Andy's best tweet, right? Which is like, this is exactly what you want. It's a bar that plays music at half the level
That it should
every
be,
other bar
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And it's so fun and it's relaxing. And I think you can rent like a Mario Kart station and just play with it. There was people right next to the little back theater area that it was like a family of 5 with their kids, and they were just there playing games
Parents
all
wasted.
night. Parents are just getting, they're getting loaded, whatever. Maybe they're Ubering home, maybe someone's a designated driver, but it was really fun. Long story short, sorry, I digressed, is that Jerry and I were talking, and she was like, what do you think could have made the experience better for you? And I was like, well, I picked 3 songs, and you never know how they're going to hit. And I had 8 minutes to introduce this concept to everyone in the audience. And I don't think a lot of people got it.
I heard you giving me a lot of shit too.
What's that?
There was a lot of like Andy big.
Oh, that's
time.
a different Andy. That's a different Andy.
No, it was Andy.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because this originally, when I envisioned this, was like a Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon sort of thing.
Ah.
I came up with
C-3PO.
a great idea. I was like, Andy does Darth Maul. I do Kylo
Love that.
Ren.
I mean, I don't. I just put on my
Andy-
makeup one time.
Puts the makeup on,
Yeah.
and people start caring about him. Just
Sure.
like nobody cared about me before I
Don't
put
put
the
a
wig
wig
on.
Mm.
And I think to myself, this could be viral gold. We go out. Andy plays keyboard. He sits behind me. He's in charge of all the funny jokes. I'm just the ham. I'm like the Michael.
Oh,
what's it?
you're Ed McMahon.
No, I would be. That's maybe a wrong way to look at it. What's the guy from The Office? What's Steve Carell's?
Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. I'm like the Michael Scott character. You're like the John Krasinski character.
Okay.
Like everyone watches the show for me, but really it's to make fun of me. You would be the guy that actually gets to make all the banger jokes.
I see.
So
okay.
Andy had a great joke where he was like, "What if I said to you in between every song we do puns?" And he goes, "What if I said, Nick,
where do people like to? Where
do
do
Sith
Sith
like-
like to go shop?
Before we get back to too far, I texted Andy and Elise last week when you were practicing for this. And when you were practicing, I was like, Nick practicing for this is like when Michael Scott does the Dundies opening and he just sings over the actual tracks. You can't really tell what he's saying. I was like, and I can never tell this to Nick because he'll be so mad. But now I can confess that
Oh, I totally get it.
you nailed it.
Where does a Sith like to shop, Nick?
The Darth Maul.
No, at Costco.
I mean, come on,
Who
that's
told you
gold.
that?
That's gold,
Good, that's
right?
good.
So I come to Andy hat in hand, and I'm nothing if I'm not humble in this office. And I say, Andy, I just need like a couple seconds of your time. Super easy. I would love to perform with you for 8 minutes at this venue. And Andy goes, okay, cool. How much time do you think you'd need? And I was honest with him. I was like, not much, right? I just need maybe a day of your time to help me write jokes, 2 nights of your night to
You need to
rehearse
drive
this
to
stuff.
San Jose.
I need you to drive to San Jose with
Put
me.
on the Darth Maul
I need you to be there
makeup.
for 2 hours, put
Yeah.
on the Darth Maul makeup, perform this for 8 minutes for a crowd of 40 people, drive back for 40 minutes, and then that's it. Maybe
But
like
Andy
all
had to go
told,
stream
3
another
days of
Souls
your
game.
time is all I needed, right?
Yeah.
And Andy's like, I'm gonna respectfully decline that offer. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do karaoke instead. But what brings us back to you is what would have changed this for me a lot is really memorizing the words. I didn't have enough time to do 3 songs. And so I was like, oh, it's easy. I'll just put the words up on the karaoke. I'll just do a karaoke like baked in sort of video, and I'll project that for everyone so that they can see it too. But the projector just wasn't good enough. And
Which is a
so
bummer
people
because
were
it
like,
looked great in the studio when you
it
practiced.
looked great, but the walls that I needed to project on was a brick wall, and so it wasn't defined enough. And the guy, if I'd have given myself another hour, the guy that ran tech there was like, I could have run this for you, and I was like, all right, well, good note for next time. A lot of good notes.
So what? It didn't go well. Like
Oh, I had a blast. Everyone had a great time.
okay. You just
But
didn't know words at times.
I look at it and I'm like, if I really want to nail
You
this,
said you brought a clip, right?
I did bring a clip. Would you like to watch
I'd
it?
love to watch this.
Okay, Kevin, can we watch this clip?
Jesus Christ.
Sing along if you know this.
Can you raise it up a little, Kev?
Restart it and crank it as loud as yeah.
Sing along if you know this one. It's a classic. Very big on Tatooine.
I like the person in the audience. It's correct.
With a somehow worse swing.
You're always on the one now. Running out of hospital. You gotta get it somehow. I think you gotta slow down. Before you gotta go down.
I thought you were gonna shave the stash.
I didn't commit.
So be careful not to fall. We're ready to
I'm so glad I didn't go.
I gotta have the wife. I didn't want to subject you guys to the rest of the song. But then it was punctuated with moments like this.
I'll give everyone a choice of the next song. I just did that with my mind.
That's it.
That's great, Nick. That was great. I love you still wearing the watch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that off. I don't trust these comics. I don't want that watch to walk away.
But also, I just did that with my mind. It's great.
That's a great one. That's a great
Thank
one.
you.
Nick, do you ever look at that and think about how far you've come?
Yeah, it's not far.
Shut up. You're so talented. And like
That's
you're
fine.
such a great performer now. I think that was not that you were ever a bad performer.
No.
But I mean, like when we first put you on the Kind of Funny podcast, right? It was your first time in front of a camera.
I mean,
It's funny.
We saw the Donkey Kong truck, you know.
Right. You know,
That was peak me.
Yeah.
No, it was really fun. It was fun to get out there and do something other than comedy. And I'm trying to get the audio from the guy that ran the show, because I had a lot of moments of just like silliness of like fucking with the audience and dumb, stupid, what sector, what parsec of the fucking
That's
galaxy
great.
are you from,
That's
and shit
great.
like that. So just fun stuff. But it was fun to get out there and fail a little bit and flex my creative muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Andy,
oh,
do
sorry.
you think that you are going to go to the next one?
I told Mike I would have only considered it if it wasn't in San Jose. And that's not a definite yes. That's just more of a
You have a chance at San Francisco, no chance at San Jose.
there's no chance.
Yeah.
Like I went to San Jose already with Tim, and I know you kept saying like 40 minutes. It felt like
Well, you hit traffic.
an
you're in
hour
trouble,
and
yeah.
10.
I mean, it was like, I think I got back.
If I can stop you real
15
quick
minutes.
just to dunk on Tim, that's because you're in a car with Tim.
Yeah, Tim
You know what
drives.
I mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
so
see.
have you heard of Hans Zimmer? Oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's hard for me because my perception of how far things are. I drive to Santa Cruz for like a 10-minute set sometimes. So
Yeah.
I just like driving, and I love San Jose just because it's nice to get out of the city. It's a different vibe down there. So to me, San Jose is very, very close because I'm down there like once or twice a month. But I understand.
Tim loves Hans Zimmer, huh?
Like to a disturbing degree. You know what I mean? I get it.
He's always seeing him.
Huh?
How
He's
many
finding new ways to see him.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. What else is he doing? And also Tim going, by the way, I'm also that week at GDC, I'm seeing another video games concert. I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going alone. I was like, all right,
Even
what are the
Gia-
songs? He
Even
goes,
Gia has her limits.
and he was like,
Yeah.
Call of Duty. And I was like, I don't, what? He goes, yeah, it's a lot of Call of Duty music, but like, I just wanted to go. I was like, okay,
All right, man. You do you.
just going alone.
Yeah.
For the love of the music,
Yeah.
for the love of video
Would
games.
you go to anything alone? What would you go to alone to?
I mean, I would probably go. I would go see. I've gone to see him in review movie before alone
Sure.
when I had to go to a different
Movies,
day.
I mean,
I
first off,
love
doing
going to a
anything alone, I'm not
movie.
shaming you. It's just there is that sliding scale of things you get to. You're like, I'd only go if somebody else is going, kind of thing.
I do
Movies.
most-
I think are
I think concerts for me are the thing. It's like the concert's about seeing the person, but it's also about having fun
a
with people.
social experience. Yeah.
So it's like I don't know that I would love going to most concerts by myself.
And nowadays, especially back in when I went to Mizzou, I would go to a concert alone, but that's because I didn't know anybody yet, right? You were still forming those friend
yeah.
groups and so just finding stuff.
Yeah, I would. For me, it would be probably a concert, but it would have to be real close.
Snowbike Mike in the chat says, "I do everything alone." ... Frowny face, and that's of course because you refuse to call him or hang out with him.
And it's specifically because you refused to call or hang out with him. Because he was like, Slappy, what are you doing tonight? I was like, oh, I'm going to a really cool place that I think you'd like. And I'm going to perform a really silly thing that I think will be entertaining for you, at least to make fun of later in the line. There will be all sorts of new people for you to meet, people who, some of whom will know who you are. So you'll have an inroad to them. Do you want to come? And he waited the perfect beat and went, Andy, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah, that was a great moment.
It really
Mike
hurt
is
Nick.
invited to everything. I was like, Mike, come help me. you could be my guy. I was like, we'll dress you up as a Star Wars character in the back, and you could just like, you can be a plant in the audience for me to force choke and shit like that.
That's great.
And he was like, oh, Slappy, I wish I could. Andy, what are you doing tonight? And he's like, and you're like, nothing. And then and then Mike's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything either. I'm like, God damn it.
It's not true because I've already been on his ass for like, I texted you last weekend about what are you doing this weekend? No response. Rated him on Twitch. And I was like, ask Mike why he didn't answer my text. And he was like, last text I have is from my dad. It's like, that's not, my phone is like,
his phone can only hold one text.
this
It's because
phone,
the texted size
Mike's
is
got a
so
dumb
big,
phone.
you know?
this text
Only
went
one text at a
through, you know
time.
what I mean? So it's like, there's been no response on the Split Fiction playthrough. It's, who knows? You know, he's an enigma.
Yeah. He's a weird one.
Yeah.
You can't stop him. Every so often, Ben will mention the sewage treatment plant Mike took him to. And Mike never came back. Never came back after that. You know what I mean?
What?
What?
Do you not know this?
No, what?
My son likes the sewage treatment plant a lot.
Okay.
He's very interested by wastewater and where water goes and what it does.
Really?
And so one day when Mike
It's a structure. It's like an actual.
yeah, there's many all over the Bay Area.
Okay, yeah.
Mike came out to do breakfast with us and then go to Train Town with us.
Oh, that's right.
And
I
in
remember.
between those, though, we stopped at the sewage treatment plant and took photos outside.
Ah,
Yeah.
I told you I did a tour of a sewage treatment plant at college
No.
at Irvine.
No.
I forget what class it was for, but we had to pick something that was like a public utility. And a bunch of us were like, we'll go to the reclamation plant to see how they do it. And the guy had the best joke ever. He goes, we take shit from everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Very stinky.
They
can
don't
only
do
imagine.
tours of the one by us, but like it's like the 5th grade elementary class gets to go there.
Oh,
So it's
hell
like
yeah.
Ben's excited to get to 5th grade one day.
We didn't do that. We went to the fish hatchery in Sacramento
Oh, for college?
for like
school.
the elementary
trips?
school
Oh.
field trip. It was like, what's the closest municipal thing that does tours? And apparently it's the fish hatchery.
What's what they have fish hatcheries?
Yeah, it's where you
It's
know,
like I think it's in Folsom.
they're
I will
redoing
look it
the,
up.
the helping the fish. The
So
population.
they're just like dumping more fish back into like the wildlife?
they're doing the eggs there. They're making the baby fish. They send them out. They're hatching the fish eggs.
The Nimbus Fish Hatchery in Gold River.
And that makes me think of the Nimbus 2000.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
makes me think of Dragon Ball Z.
What was a field trip you did a lot? What was your school's?
Field trips. We went to kind of I think it was like a water plant of some sort.
Okay.
It's not that different from the
Yeah,
sewage
for
treatment.
sure. We did a lot of. I remember one time in elementary school walking to HEB
Okay.
as a field trip,
Yeah.
which
Oh.
was like, is that all we did? I don't remember, but I distinctly remember.
That's the one that resonated with you.
Yeah, field trips like that. But then the rewarding field trips, not the educational ones, were it was always Fiesta, Texas.
Why? What's happening there?
Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
Oh my God.
Going from the RHV to San Antonio. We're going there. It's gonna be hot as fuck, but we're gonna ride the roller coasters because we did really good for middle school band or whatever the hell.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
it was
Hell yeah.
always Fiesta, Texas, or the smaller field trips would be the rewarding ones at Peter Barber Pizza.
Yeah, for us, what
Pizza
smaller
people pick.
ones? There was, I mean, Six Flags would be one that the school would do, but I remember roller rink was always a big one. There was a roller rink
Oh,
we'd all
hell
go
yeah.
to. And
Fantasyland was
it'd be
ours.
this whole thing. You know, again, I'm old as hell, where roller blades were on the come up, and so like
Oh, that is
certain
old.
roller blades were like banned from the roller rink
was
because
the-
they tore up the floor. So
No,
like,
it was the it
Too much
was the
markings.
stopper.
well, no, but it was also it wasn't. Maybe in some of them, ours the big deal was rollerblades had these screws on the side of them, and so you'd
interesting.
spend
Oh, you'd
you'd take. I
slide.
remember having my dad's electrical tape and like taping down all the screw things trying to get in. They wouldn't let you in or whatever.
Uh-huh.
For me,
damn.
we had to go. I had to go to every sporting goods store and try to find white brakes because the black brakes
yeah, they
when you
left
look,
a mark.
would leave a
Yeah,
mark, and so they wouldn't let you on the rink unless you had white brakes. And so me and my friends had to like scour. And I remember finding one at like the Tyler Mall and being like,
Fucking
yes,
Tyler Mall.
I can go to this party now. And you
Oh,
had
yeah.
like unscrew it and then put the new brake in
Yeah.
and screw it back up into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So cool.
Dude, I
So
was
cool.
so sick with. I was so good at rollerblading. Like I was really good.
Yeah?
I haven't
What?
done it in a long time, but I feel like it'd be like riding a bike, like
What's
riding a
the
rollerblade.
benchmark of being really good? Like, are you doing
Backward.
tricks?
Backwards, of course, stuff like that. But then there was a house that was in front of me because one of the house in front of me was the house directly growing up across the street was a government housing, and the one to the right was a house that took like 13 years to be built. Like this thing was just like you could tell somebody's project
So
that
the opposite of government.
yeah, it took forever for this dude to build this thing. So for the first couple years, it was just foundation, and there was tons of bricks and like little and planks of wood. So we were always putting the planks of wood. We were making our little ramps and doing all sorts of jumps off of them. I mean, it was all from Airborne and Brink, yeah, mainly Airborne though. Airborne was a lot.
Seen Airborne.
Airborne was a lot more important to my upbringing than Brink was.
Brink.
It was the non-Disney version. It had Seth Green. It had
guy with the gray
Selena's
hair.
brother in the movie.
Yeah.
Movie Selena.
Yeah.
Way darker. Way more like adult-ish. Even though it was still teens on rollerblades or whatever.
Brink Airborne fucking rocked.
It was awesome.
Remember,
I
he
don't
came
think
from
I've seen
California. He was
Man
talking
wasn't
about
meant
surfing.
to fly, kids were.
He's Joey. Let me just set the scene, okay?
Okay.
This dude, incredible at surfing. He's a West Coast guy.
Oh,
But
so
guess
like Johnny
what?
Tsunami.
But look at
Kind of like that.
the fucking tagline. Michael became the most
Mitchell.
popular. Mitchell became the most popular guy on Earth once he took to the sky.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with this movie. At all.
Airborne. It's Airborne. He got airborne, Nick.
Like
Yeah.
once he gets
bro.
airborne. What? It's about a downhill rollerblading race.
You're right.
Can I see the trailer, Kevin?
But also, like,
Have you never seen this?
No, never.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
great
think I've seen
fucking film.
Airborne.
I mean, it's a dude who was, West Coast living surfer
Puka
guy.
shell, super guy.
But guess what? His family
Man.
sending him to Cincinnati for the school year.
Cincinnati.
So he got to go
Wow.
live with his cousin in Cincinnati. It's snowy and gross. He's like, bro, this isn't what I'm
Here we
used
go.
to.
Let's watch
Thankfully,
the trailer for
everyone
Airborne,
rollerblades.
1993. I love it already.
Let me tell you what styling is. The perfect session. A-frame wave, ground swell. Spitting out salt water in your face. Doing a 360 without a bounce. I call it the consciousness razor.
He sounds like Matthew
It
McConaughey.
does.
California dream. Until he woke up in Cincinnati.
What do you think? It's wild, right?
We're just so excited about having you here. Slow down.
Look at Seth Green.
It's there too.
Secretary
Secretary
from
Wants him to
Ferris
meet his
Bueller.
friends.
You. What do I
Jack
know you from?
Black.
You used to flush my head in the urinals.
They're an interesting bunch.
I could be Elvis. It's possible.
This
I
is
really
the back
like
to school thing,
sleep,
by the way.
and I like Nintendo.
Oh, baby
They
Jack.
all want Mitchell to feel right at home.
Oh no!
And if it wasn't
They're just
for
pranking him. They hate him.
How are you?
You must be getting pretty homesick, huh?
Not right now.
Why is this running at like 10 frames per second?
It makes it better.
For the next
That's how we
6
did it
months,
back in the day.
his days of sun, sand, and surf
They made his life a living hell.
have been put on ice.
Jesus!
Dang.
Braun Breaker.
Those are the twins.
Those are the twins, yeah.
In a city where no one understands him.
Man, I gotta watch this movie again.
Traffic, smog, heat waves.
Who would have thought
This
he'd
main
become a
actor has been in
hero
6 things,
by
according to
doing
him.
what he
I mean,
does?
I think he
when you
legitimately
fucking
could do all
hit
this
it.
shit.
For the prep
I
to
think he
little
was like
skating
they
race.
cast him
Oh,
because he
he's
rollerblade.
You don't want to skate in our team.
I think
No.
hair.
He's like, I need to be in a
He has
rollerblading
one
movie.
chance to
This is a
prove
peak
himself.
90s haircut.
Oh yes.
This is the big. This is the
One
90s.
final race to win.
This is the big race on the Devil's Backbone.
And he's the one who has what it
So
takes
sick.
to put them
Does
over the
Cincinnati
top.
have hills like this?
I feel like they filmed this in the same city they filmed the Goonies in. If I'm
I
being
think
real.
I'm starting to like
Astoria?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, do me a favor. Could you play the trailer for Back to School starring Rodney Dangerfield? Because it's the same fucking music. They
Oh,
just
really?
stole that music. and
Yeah.
they put
While
it
you
in this.
prep that, I'll thank our Patreon producers because we're still in the intro. James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Lost Skies, Monaco 2, and Rocket Money. But we'll tell you about that after this Back to School trailer.
What does Back to School have to do with Airborne?
Same. He's saying it's the same song.
Oh.
That's
yeah,
the
this
90s,
this
man.
is back in the 90s and 80s where they just took music.
Orion Pictures, yes.
Guess who's getting some class?
Oh, it's all just Oingo
God,
Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
This movie
So
rocks.
Back to school.
It just looks like the same movie, kind of.
Hey, boys, here's a couple
Does
of
it?
pens in case you learn how to write, okay?
Rodney Dangerfield. Who could
This movie rocks.
Oh my God, Back to
He
School.
threw a
Yeah.
party and hired Oingo Boingo to fucking play at his college party.
Wait a minute, when did you dream about going to college?
When I used to fall asleep in high school. Here's a book on safety.
I don't know why I thought.
Let me see that.
The world's oldest
I don't know why I thought I knew a lot about Rodney
Well, that's
Dangerfield
the most important thing.
when it was only The Big Green,
The Big Green.
What do you mean?
the soccer movie, The Big Green.
Oh.
Ladybug.
Ladybugs.
Sorry, Ladybugs.
Rodney Dangerfield
Like-
didn't do that many movies, actually.
I know, and I feel like I to me, I feel like I grew up with him as a staple in my life, but it was really just Ladybugs.
It really was.
I never saw that movie.
Caddyshack, come on.
Caddyshack is the first movie he ever did. And they tell great stories too. The trivia was always like he was so worried the entire time because no one was laughing. And finally someone pulled him aside and was like, Rodney, if they laugh, it ruins the take. They're like, you're fucking killing it. And then he did it back to school. And then I think but he didn't do that many movies because he was very old by the time he got into it. And he was a very, very well-respected comic because he had the Rodney Dangerfield like comedy hour that was on HBO that blew up like Roseanne and Andrew Dice Clay and everyone who was anyone wanted to get on that because that was like either Carson or that would blow you up.
Hell yeah.
It was really cool. And he has Dangerfield still. I think that's still a club out in the back east.
We'll continue this conversation after we talk about our sponsors. Remember, of course, if you don't want to listen to the sponsors, you can pick up a Kind of Funny membership, maybe on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, maybe on patreon.com/kindoffunny, maybe on Apple or Spotify, where a Kind of Funny membership is available for you and your amusement. So you could get all our shows ad-free, get a daily show from me, Greg Way, but right now you're not using your benefits. So here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Lost Skies. What would you do if you woke up and the world around you was now floating high in the clouds? Lost Skies is the new open-world survival-like that puts the power of exploration and choice in your hands. Use the physics-based grappling hook, glider, and your own custom airship to traverse the remains of this fractured world and uncover its mysteries. You and up to 5 friends will harness the power of ancient technology to survive the hostile islands that scatter the horizon and the threats that lurk in the sky itself. The battles are intense, so it's up to you to build a skyship to shelter you in fierce storms and take the battle to gigantic monsters. Want to take a break from fighting in the skies? Use the intuitive island creator and share your builds with the community. Head over to Steam and wishlist Lost Skies today and discover what's lurking beyond the horizon. This episode's brought to you by Monaco 2. Gather your crew, plan your heist, and let the chaos unfold in Monaco 2. Return to Monaco, a city teeming with excellent scores and gullible marks ripe for getting parted from their prized possessions. Go it alone or tackle heists as a team of 4 with online and local co-op. Just remember, even the best laid plans can blow up in your face, so you'll have to stay on your toes. Monaco 2 is the sequel to the cult classic Monaco. What's yours is mine that expands on every aspect of the game. New characters bring unique abilities and playstyles to help you escape the heat. And with new modes and procedurally generated levels, every run is full of surprises. The heist is on when Monaco 2 arrives on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 10th. Y'all know how important it is to wishlist these games. It helps the developers so much. So please wishlist Lost Skies and Monaco 2. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore, and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they're still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. You know who I'm talking about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny.
Hit it. I don't want another fast one.
Yeah, you don't want the fast. You want a different vibe for this one.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Give me the beat from New York. Go for it.
Tim Getty sucks. Tim Getty sucks. How much does he suck? So fucking much. Tim Geddes, what's your problem? Stop clapping like that, you weirdo. What's wrong with you? Why you clap like that? Tim Geddes, get out of my hat. I have a big hat. He fits in it. It's weird. It's weird. I need somebody over there.
I think I'm gonna be real with you.
Backup vocalist.
I think if you cleaned it up a little and we didn't use like swear words,
yeah,
we could be huge in the kids market with these.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Have you
and the
listened to kids music?
Yeah, it's all
Casper
stupid.
Baby Pants. No.
Casper Baby Pants?
Is that
Yeah.
a real thing?
It is. I think I might have talked about this when he was an infant, but like Casper Baby Pants is the lead singer from the president of the United States of America.
He's making this shit up.
Oh, okay.
And that's like the funny fact of it or whatever.
Really?
The band?
Yeah, President of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Lump sat alone in a buggy marsh. He started doing Casper Baby Pants. It's one of those where I think he might have.
Funniest name.
It's a great name. He might have retired from it when Ben was small and we were really listening to it. Like
We're really
we
getting
were
to the
really
discography.
into it. It was like, oh, see if he's coming on tour, and his website hadn't been updated in forever. So like, oh, maybe he's done. But no, kid music. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of trash. There's a lot of really good stuff out there. You got Jules from Miss Rachel. She's putting out some good stuff.
You like her?
I'm currently taking a permanent break from playing live shows, but you can still see me play a bunch of songs here. So, good for him.
Good for him.
You know what I mean?
That's a great mark. Man, like, there's so much money in just making kids books. I need 5 more Portillo's books.
We sell kids books. We sell them games. We sell them drugs.
Yep.
There's all sorts of money you can be made from the kids
Escalation.
market. And you don't have to feel bad about it, though, because
Nope.
they don't have any money of their own.
Yep.
You're really just taking advantage of their dumb fuck parents.
You blame it
who
on
just
them.
don't want to say no to them because the kid
Yes.
throws a tantrum. So you just buy them whatever the
Path
fuck
of
they
least
want.
resistance.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
These goddamn Hot Wheels.
I learned that a long time
Leading
ago.
Greg dry.
I remember. I'll never forget talking to my friend Colin McAuliffe. Do you remember him? He runs 01 Productions.
Vaguely.
He's one of my production friends from back in the day, and I met him a long time ago when we were playing. I think he was working for Spike TV back in the day. Whatever Jeff.
Yeah, Spike TV does, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Keeley's old thing was. And I remember he was like, "Yeah, I'm on my second kid." And I carry. He's like, I carry like.
He says that like he's out at a bar. I'm on my second beer. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, he was like, yeah, I got a couple kids, and you have to carry like snacks and like sugary stuff occasionally. And me being this fucking dumb fuck 28-year-old smoking a cigarette, being like, I would never give my kid sugar.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ever. I would make sure they would never have any sugar. And he was like, well, that's pretty unrealistic. A and B. Sometimes they just will have a meltdown in the middle of a place, and if you don't have something that will like shock them out of that, like he's like, sometimes you just have to like give them the thing that they want.
Yeah.
And I was like, and in the back of my mind, I was like, I would do it better. And then having seen all my friends have kids now, I'm like, it's like negotiating with fucking like bank robbers. Like you have to just give them what they want sometimes just to get them out of the bank. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've had plenty. I don't. He has to learn consequences. There's been plenty of times where we're in the toy section and like he just does not pick a toy. Like you can get a toy, just pick one. He's trying to buy like the 12 pack of monster truck. I'm like, get one. And I've done the like, all right, cool, it's done then. That's it. And I'll pick him up and he just wails the entire walk out of Target, like from the way back of Target up in front of it. I don't care.
Tough.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got Santa. See,
yeah,
you
now he
figured it
threatens
out.
Santa. Yeah. As long as I have an adult.
Yeah,
I have a manager to go to named Santa.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
amazing.
escalate it in any
That's
time.
the ultimate trump card, because until this kid figures out it's me, which I will use as currency when he's 13 or 14.
Sure.
I'll be like, hey, it was me the whole time, but don't tell your dad.
Yeah.
We're going to trick him into buying both of us cars.
Me and Jen are like, man, he's 18, still believes in Santa.
Legitimately, what happened with me is I never told my parents because I knew if I told them, then I would stop getting presents. So why would I do that?
Yeah.
So still to this day, I don't get the Santa presents anymore. I think it got me like through high school.
Nice.
Greg, are you when Nick texts you, is Ben seeing it in real time, or are you and Jen screening these messages?
Well, great question, Andy. Thank you.
No problem.
It's rare that I get a random text from Nick. So usually it would be in the Santa ecosystem already, and that's why we changed the photo and the name to Santa. So when it pops in the display of the car, we can say, oh, Santa responded or whatever.
Oh.
But we've had the conversation where, I forget one of the days where we had sent something and you responded back, and then you waited a long time, maybe even slacked me. And we're like, hey.
I think I hit you up like.
I'm like, I'm responding, but I'm not gonna ever respond. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're on the same boat. Of
So you
like,
have to now, channel your
but
messages to
even
Greg differently.
if I got a work text from Nick, it wouldn't be that bad, right? Because it would still be like Santa, and I'd hit it and be like, Tim's shit in the break room again. I'm like, Tim's visiting the North Pole today,
Tim's
man.
a bad guy. Like, he's being
Tim's
a bad
also on the naughty list.
Stop shitting in the break room, Tim.
Because I get a lot of like.
I would be so interested in the text that you get from Greg and Nick.
I'm in a group thread with just Greg and Nick, and they talk to each other as if I'm not there.
Sure.
And I had to go back to it reference this, but the first thing I see is the photo of Greg in the alien costume.
Just my ass. Just my ass.
Beaver.
of just the gooch that Nick took. But just there are just random messages that happened, Joey, where January 14th, Nick Scarpino texts Greg, "It's finally time for us to try hard drugs." And Greg replies, "Finally." And I replied, "I'm on this group thread." And the next day, Greg replied, "Don't be a narc." And then the photo of the aforementioned alien. February 8th,
That's
Nick
just
Scarpino
a
says
Tuesday.
February
January 14th, a Tuesday.
February 8th, Nick Scarpino texts Greg, I should learn how to twerk. And Greg says, "We should do a Harlem Shake video this week." Like, it just, and then March 5th, Nick texts Greg, "What if we got really good with nunchucks?" And then Greg says, "Anything to wipe that fucking look off of Tim's face." You could talk to each other without me being there.
They need the audience.
Do we? March 25th,
no.
Nick and me privately. I say at 9 p.m. We have not talked. This has been 11 days since our last text, which was the fucking football, which I don't know if we ever talked about on content.
I don't think we
We
did.
should talk about that.
Anyways, March 25th at 9:09 p.m., I text Nick, "What if I start wearing suspenders?" He goes, then Nick responds, "Me too. I'll go you one better. What if we start wearing those things that keep your socks up?" I say, "Rays, tuxedos every day." He says, "And we bring Tim a corsage every morning." And then I cap it off with this one. Then we make him put it on.
Oh no.
Then we make him put on lipstick, or we hit him with bars of soap and tube socks.
That's when I started laughing. I was like, I can't keep this going. My wife was like, "What are you laughing at?"
All he did was haha the message, and we both stopped.
It's got to end there.
That one got me. That one got me.
We got to find a stopping place.
Soap and socks.
So let's talk about the footballs
Sure.
to end this
The
episode of the
footballs.
podcast.
Yeah.
As everyone I think knows at this point, maybe you don't, there's a game called Sin 2 Nerdle that took The Office by storm. It's
We
still
haven't played
beloved.
in so
It's still
long.
beloved, but
Well,
it's not the
Roger's out
same
of
way.
town.
It's not the same way. But what it became was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day, Nick would walk over to Roger's desk and say, "Roger, Joey, it's time." Then for some reason, Nick would pick up a football that no one's quite sure how it got in the office and
I
walk around
bought it.
slapping it.
Oh.
Walk around slapping the football while playing Sin to Nerdle.
I bought it for the Super Bowl day because I wanted to toss it outside because we had that really hard football that
Yeah.
Roger threw at Ben, hit him in the head with it, and it's like it was a really cold day, and this football's so hard.
He loved it. He had a great time. Anyways, so they always walk around, they do it, they play. It's a movie trivia or a movie game. We've talked about it before. It's not that isn't as much paramount to the story, but this goddamn football. And then at some point, the football got misplaced. And there was a
Football
huge
disappeared.
problem where everybody was looking for this football. Nick was so bent out of shape about this fucking football. And then it turned up in a box next to Tim's desk.
Yeah.
Where clearly one of our maids was just like, "I don't know."
He was coming at me nonstop. Nick was
Convinced.
assuming that I hid it from him. He was just so set on the idea that, like, "Andy, where did you put this? I know you're fucking with me." And I'm like, "What? No. I encourage
There were
I'm
options,
saying a
right?
football doesn't wind up in a box hidden under a bunch of stuff unless someone put it there.
But also,
But you had theories of who, like, I feel like you had theories for everybody of why they would want the football to go away.
Well, have you
except for
seen-
me and Roger, obviously.
Joey, have you seen Knives Out 2? The
Yes.
Glass Onion?
Yes, I have.
Remember how everyone hated that guy?
Yeah.
I'm well aware that I'm that guy in this office. Okay, so I'm well aware that if someone ever kills me, there will be multiple suspects.
Yeah.
And this football was
No lack of
annoying everyone,
motives.
but it was helping me think, and it was helping hype up my masculinity. Which, let's be honest, all of our testosterone levels are fucking in the basement right now.
Yeah, true.
We could all use
We
a
need
little
total
TRT
tea
right now.
I was so blown away by Nick's infatuation with this football.
Yeah.
And this dates back a while because I had made a set graphic thing that I was waiting to see a certain graphic like loop. So I came out to the set and I just sort of stood over there in the back and was just watching to see how the loop looked and make sure everything was working smoothly. So I was just sitting here by myself, like looking at the screen. And Nick walks in holding the football and then just tosses it at me. And I catch it. I threw it back at him. And we're tossing the football like father and son for
That's
about
so
10 minutes.
scary in
and
here.
the whole time I'm thinking, if anybody else were throwing this and Nick was here, he would be so mad at these two
So
people.
mad.
But it puts you in a trance of just like, I just want to toss this fucking football.
Toss football. And you even said that. You were like, if anyone else but you was tossing this football, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'd be so mad. And I took the football and I walked out of the room with it. I was like, Andy's right. This is really irresponsible.
The gym is right here.
Gym's
like
there.
So
ball's
many
here.
cameras.
Terribly irresponsible.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you get fucking
Yeah.
testosterone.
So the
coursing through your
football is
veins.
tracked down at Tim's desk. It's reunited to Nick. It keeps continuing the Sin to Nerdle crew. And then
We did an Instagram video figuring
the
out who did it.
discovery of the football when I found it in this box. Shocking.
Shocked the world.
Also, Tim 1,000% thought that box was mine. I was like, no, this box has your name all over it. This giant MDS box just sitting there for months because neither of us are moving it.
So days go by, maybe a week, I don't know. And it's me and Joey now at the office alone.
Mm-hmm.
Days wound down, whatever's happening. And then I find the football a little out of place. It wasn't on your desk. It was either on the coffee table or in the conference room already. I forget.
I feel like the football often ends up on Andy's desk.
I picked it up and I'm like, where can I hide this to piss off Nick? What can I do to throw a wrench in this man's plans? Really keep it spicy at the office.
Yeah.
And then I figured the one place I could hide it is the one place he'd never be able to see. So I walked into the conference room and put it on top of the TV, where it was just tucked away in the back. But if you were of normal man's height, you'd be able to see it. But when you're small, you can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, this is a good enough thing. And I'm like, and I told Joey, I hope Tim doesn't ruin it on the first day because Tim will come in. He's normal.
Yeah, but
sized
Tim's
man.
oblivious though.
Yeah, of course.
Tim wants to
You ever
stay
seen
out of
somebody
it.
more miserable to come to
He
the best
doesn't
place?
give a shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's trying to get through the day. It's basically what he's trying to do. Fucking parts of the ceiling could be falling down, and as long as they're not hitting him directly, he'd be okay with it.
So I did that and then kind of forgot about it. Every so often I glance over there, and I'd say a week passes with I can still see the football. Oh, this football's still over. The football's still over. That's fine. Whatever. Blah blah blah. And then I assume Joey narked on me.
No.
And told Tim or Nick.
No.
Well, who did you tell?
saw it the
I didn't tell
first day.
anybody.
It was,
I literally walked in.
But how did you know it was me?
You're tall.
Oh no, Joey, you did narc on him.
And it's okay to be like, I see the
think-
football. Who put it there? Great. I'm
I
not
think
mad.
we did talk about it. I forget how it came up, but I was like, you know who it is.
Oh yeah, you were like, you know what it is. I was like, oh, it's got to be Greg.
Yeah.
Because by process of elimination, Andy doesn't care. I don't think Kevin gives
Tim
a fuck.
doesn't care.
Tim clearly doesn't care. Mike would never hide a sport equipment from anyone
No.
in this office.
Yeah.
We want
Roger,
those fully accessible to everybody.
yeah, Roger wouldn't care. Cool Greg minds his own business. So I was like, it's got to be Greg because Greg is the only person that pulls pranks on people in this office.
Yeah.
And Joey was like, yeah, I think it was.
And so you jump to March 13th. I come home from work. I pick up an Amazon package at the front. I come on up. I'm greeted by my son, my beautiful wife, my beautiful dog. And I'm like, oh, package
Beautiful
out there. And Jen's like, oh, did you order something? I'm like, I didn't. And I look at it, and it said Greg Miller on it. And I was like, okay. And I open it up. And it's weird because when I order an Amazon thing, it says The Millers. That's the account I use or whatever. And I open it up, and inside is a football and a pump. You know what I mean? A very nice football. And there's no gift, no note, no whatever. And so I was like, oh, well, I know my mom sent something the other day. Maybe she was sending multiple things or whatever. So I busted out. I'm like, Ben, you got a football? And I inflated, and he's all excited. And then, okay, don't throw it in the house. You know what I mean? Here, we can take it outside. We can do stuff with it. He's so excited. Thank you. I'm like, no problem. I come home the next day. It's March 14th. And another Amazon package out front to Greg Miller. That's weird. So I pick it up, come up, open it up, and it's another football and another pump. And I was like, okay. And this time there is a gift receipt. And the gift receipt says a gift for you. The Amazon thing does. And then it goes, I know what you did from unknown. And that's, I mean, as we all remember from this very show when I did the OnlyFans prank to Nick where I sent him the OnlyFans receipt. I was like, this is my comeuppance that he would do this. And that's funny. But then I was like, so he knows about the football and he sent me this thing. And I'm like, I wonder if he knows. I wonder if he double clicked something and, he sent the first football by mistake and didn't realize he did because there was no note in that one. This one comes here. I'm like, I'll tell him. I sent him a little photo of the receipt and I'm like, ha ha ha. No response from Nick. And then we come to work and we work a full day and don't even talk about this either. I come home on March 15th. Same box outside, Greg Miller. Open it up when I get here, and it goes, you can't ignore this from the reckoning. And so then I was like, they were all 3 playing.
Yeah.
Nowadays I wait every day. Is there another football?
I was gonna go a week straight, but you
Yeah.
came in that day and talked to me about it,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, this is fine. It's getting expensive. They were like $10, but after a certain point, like,
Yeah, how
how
much
many
is it
times we
worth
gotta
it?
do this?
Yeah.
How many footballs are we?
Yeah,
gonna
then
put
the
in mail?
epilogue, I think I've told people here and there, so I apologize. But the epilogue was then I had 2 footballs in boxes in my trunk.
Yeah.
And I was walking out of preschool after dropping Ben off, and these 2 parents were walking out with me. And like, I know these people as, you're whoever's
Casually,
parents
yeah.
and whatever. And they don't get our world, obviously. Oh,
It's
Greg
like
has
Ben's
It's
birthday.
always, Greg's got a podcast. It's like, whatever. And so we're walking out, and I'm like, oh, by the way, do either of you want a football? And they were like, what? And I'm like, I have my coworker's doing a prank on me, and so I keep getting footballs. I have 2 footballs, and the one mom was like, I'm fine, and the other dad's like, yeah. I want it. So he came over to my car. I gave him an unopened football and a pump. He's like, thanks,
Perfect.
man.
Well,
He's like,
that
this is a
worked.
nice prank. I'm like, yeah, well, they come with threatening notes. He's like, oh.
There's an escalation we're all scared about here.
We don't know where it's
It's
going to go
fine.
from here.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's fine. We
There
had a
was
good
there
time.
was like a 10-pack.
Yeah.
I was like,
There was a lot of discussion about what kinds of footballs we're sending.
yeah.
There was a lot of conversation that went into
It was
this.
a fun one. That was fun.
Just like this episode of the Kind of Funny podcast has been. Andy, you need to give me a beat. We got to get one more song, but I'll do the outro while I do that. All right. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Kind of Funny podcast. Remember, we record it in front of a live audience over on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and youtube.com/kindoffunnygames as part of our live talk show network. You've already gotten Games Daily, Gamescast, now the Kind of Funny podcast. We're going to roll from this into a Pokemon live stream to close out your viewing day. But remember, tomorrow's Friday, and we will be back with more. If you like all the work we do here, like maybe all that Switch coverage we do, please pick up that Kind of Funny membership, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, patreon.com/kindoffunny, Apple and Spotify to get all of our shows ad-free, get good karma, and get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series I call Gregway, which I have to go record right now. You got a song for me?
Hold on. Let me get check.
I like that. I like where you're at, though.
Okay. Well, I was kind of also envisioning Nick to get into it to let us know what year it is.
Oh, great.
It could be one of those beats where you have to know what year it is. All right, ready?
Classic.
Hold on. Let me get this right. Gotta get the pitch up. Here we go. Sorry, Genius takes time, you know.
The year is 2024. Shoelaces have been replaced by Velcro. People that wear glasses are hunted. They're hunted and killed.
History is dark, but I know places. History is dark, but I know places. See that big tube over there? We're going in there. We hide from the hunter killers there in the air.
Tim got LASIK. For a reason.
I need to loop it. I can't figure out how to loop it. Okay, here we go.
The year is 2024. Shoelaces have been replaced by Velcro. People that wear glasses are hunted. They're hunted.
Okay, here we go. There, we got the loop now.
Come on.
The year is 2024. Shoelaces have been
It's ready for you.
Oh.
People that wear glasses are hunted.
I don't trust Lucy James. Something about her is strange. Where are her glasses? She looks like a bug. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Fun, man.